I know it was in the early 70s, and we were playing hockey with the Sackville Centennials in the old Suburban League. And as I mentioned, that league was high-end because there were players who were just out of university, who had played university hockey, and there were players that were from senior, so it was high quality. And Graham was a star to me.
I went to see a Suburban Hockey League game, and this unusual man was playing hockey out there, and the best hockey player I ever saw. And he was doing so well, nobody would come near him. He was rough and ready to go. Soon after that, the Voyagers came to Halifax. I became a Voyager fan and knew the executive and Al McNeil and quite a crew of them, Arnie Patterson and Mike Kelly, and I suggested to them that they should have Graham Isenor on defense because they were being pushed around quite handily the first few years. They never listened to me, but I can tell you quite frankly that Graham Isenor certainly would have helped that team in the American Hockey League.
He was special at looking after his players. He was a stay-at-home defenseman. You didn't have to worry about him being out of position. He was a skater, a good skater. He had good feel with the puck. He could pass the puck and he could shoot. But his most outstanding attribute that he really had, he was able to control our end of the ice. And I really mean that. He was a control person that had the ability to look after all the action that was going on. Graham was a big man, and being a big man, he had a great reach. He could block shots like nobody else. He was tough. He was not a dirty hockey player, but he was tough, and you could tell that, and everybody knew that. Every opponent on the ice knew that. He was a player that just you knew you had when you were on the ice. If you were playing against him, you knew where he was. You had to watch where he was all the time. I think Graham for me, was a hockey player that exemplified a person who gave his all to the game.
He was a coach that loved to have fun, and he'd hit the ball really hard, and he expected you to catch it. You know, he hit it up in the air really high, and you know, the more he made us work, the better he liked it. And we'd have all kinds of laughs, and we'd, you know, have a few grumbles along the way because, you know, it's like, well, I don't want the ball to go that high, or I don't want it to come at me that fast, but you better catch it. You know, or you were getting another one, and it was coming harder the next time.
Graham, I called him the dork. He was a guy that a lot of people thought maybe he was really tough, but like I say, he was a teddy bear. He made us girls believe in what we could do, and we tried harder. He's just a motivator. He was great.
Graham not only committed to teams, which was, we started practicing in January and it didn't finish until September, but he got us all jobs. If we didn't have a job, Graham was out there looking for a job.
He wanted to excel and have the team excel and give them the best opportunity that he could. So those young girls, he had them play against junior ladies teams and then also against Bantam boys teams, which gave us more than what we could handle in both occasions. But he wanted those players to commit themselves and become better, and it wasn't just for the summer months, we did it year round.
There were many, many fun trips. I remember one time we went to London, Ontario, and Graham decided we were going to go up for a weekend for a tournament. I don't think any of us paid any money. I don't remember Mom and Dad, no, they didn't, because I asked my mom and dad, no money. We all hop on a plane, we go up for the weekend, we rent a bus, and we get stuck. We're like the Bad News Bears. So Graham, here's our whole team, because it rained most of the weekend that we went up, and here he had put the whole bill, And I don't even think we got the whole tournament in, but we got stuck. So all of the team we're out behind the bus, pushing the bus to get us out, all full of mud, and we have to go back to the airport to go, because we're late. We have to go to the airport full of mud, get on the plane. That was Graham.
Graham took women's softball to another era. Like, it was always guys, as you say, and he worked with us constantly to make us better. He went out of his way to make sure that girls needed what they needed. He provided. He would go anywhere to make girls play ball.
Well, I live in Liverpool, and it's a fair distance away, a few hours. So on the weekends, I would stay with them on the weekends, and when we started getting into double headers during the weekdays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, he would drive down and pick me up and make sure I made the games, and then drive me home so that I could go to school. I know. And then I got my license, and then he taught me how to drive. Being able to have a family, because my family was in a divorce when I was younger, and my mom was sick, so he sort of adopted me and took me in and made sure that, you know, I felt like I had a family.
Behind every great man is a better woman, and Graham was had a better woman. Diane was my first coach, actually. It wasn't Graham. And Diane made everybody love ball because we were very young. We were 5 years old. And she, a teacher as her profession, was very good at just keeping us on track and loving the game.
He'll give to anyone. He's just a guy that doesn't matter if he knows you or not, if he'll donate whatever and give his time, and he gives all of his time. He's 100%. He's not in for like 50%, he'll give you 100%.
He's definitely big-hearted, like huge heart and he's like generous. He gives to everyone he can possibly think of giving to, and there's no stopping him. You know, he would just give. There's never a time that he would ever say no.
We had fun. That was really important, and he was a fun guy to be with, and a great person, even off the ice.
I believe that Graham taught all of us grit, and grit to be confident, to persevere. But his goal wasn't to teach grit. His goal wasn't, he didn't read it in a book that I have to do this for the kids. Like, he wanted to teach us softball. But Graham, in the end, ended up teaching us bigger than that.
The memories that I have with playing for him and with the girls that I play with, we all still in contact, and actually he keeps us in contact as much as he can, so he's just a great guy.
Graham Isenor's a lovely man, is loved by all.
2014 East Hants Sport Hall of Fame inductee, Graham Isenor.